Welcome to the Tactical Dad podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Cook, and I am the Tactical Dad. In today's episode, I did it again. Today's episode, which is episode 78, there we go. We are going to talk castle law, or castle doctrine, it's also known as castle law. Now, I just want to make it very clear that I am not an attorney. I am in no way, shape, or form able to give legal advice. This is not legal advice. This podcast is purely for entertainment and possible learning, mainly for me. So we're going to talk just briefly about castle law, and we're going to talk about it in Georgia, since that's where I'm from. That's where I live. It's not where I'm from. I'm from England. I live in Georgia. So it's important to know gun laws if you're going to own a gun. It's important to become familiar with the laws of owning a gun. So that's what, not just myself, but I think everybody that owns a gun should think that way, because it's, God forbid you ever have a situation where you have to use it, then you better know the laws, otherwise you could go to prison, and that's the last thing that anybody wants. So we're not going to go too deep into this. I'm actually going to find a attorney. I know a few attorneys. I'm not sure if they're up to date or if they specialize in this kind of law. However, I'm going to speak to them, and either way, I will find an attorney that can talk on this subject in real depth, and I'm going to bring them on the show, and we're going to have a real good conversation. But today, I'm going to just share what I've found, and we'll go from there. So, castle law, which is castle doctrine, it's known as castle law. It's a legal concept in some states, not all states, but some states in America, that provides a legal defense for individuals who use force, including deadly force, to defend their home, property, or a person. The name castle doctrine comes from the idea that the person's home is their castle, and that they have the right to defend it, which I am 100% for. This is like, I'm in my home right now. I'm at the breakfast table. That's where I do most of my podcasts. This is my home. I live here. My wife lives here. My children live here. My dog lives here. This is my property. So I legally should be allowed and should be able to protect this property, my family, and my belongings within this home. I should be able to, at a level, in my belief, I should be able to protect it at a level different to outside of these walls, outside of my home. I understand that, because then outside of that, then we're into private businesses, or we're into public areas, right? So I understand it's got to be different there. But inside these walls, this is my home. And if I feel threatened, if I feel that my family is threatened, I should be able to use whatever means necessary to defend it. Just totally believe that and agree with that. So the specifics of castle doctrine, including when and how it can be invoked, vary by state. So you've really got to do your due diligence in finding out what the specifics are for each state. So thanks for joining me. We will jump back on this podcast and go a little bit more into castle law, castle doctrine in the next episode. We're going to cut this one short because my family's home. Peace.